Yeah, I'll tell you what I like, the rappers stuff. Because it has very good lyrical content at last, which I like black music a lot. But one thing I've always complained about is that the words are terrible and all about silly love and nonsense. But I mean, like, what? The message was excellent.
What sort of messages do you...
It's about real life, just about how awful it really is to live in a city. That's what the message is, and you can dance to it.
I don't know, so if people are thinking about how terrible it is to live in the city, why
No,
would they stay there?
listen, when you complain about something, you make it better. You state the case. There then is room for improvement. By pretending it's not happening, things just stay the same.
Do you ever do
I
that?
know this. This is my philosophy. I've been doing it all my life, and it works very well, believe me.
That's what it is.
はい、そうです。ね。
Do you think a group like The Clash, who incorporate political messages into their music, have any sort of real effective bearing?
No, because they don't deal with their own problems. They fuck about in, third world countries, like Sardinista, that kind of stuff. Well, listen, if you're going to mess about with politics, know what you're talking about, because you're stepping on other people's feet there. They made a really, really tragically bad mistake when they went to Belfast. See, I'm Catholic, but they went there and stood up totally for the Catholics. But there's both sides of the border there, like, that have grievances. You can't just stand in the middle of Belfast and say, get the Protestants out of Ireland. I mean, they've been there for 400 years. They're as Irish as you can get. Don't do that.
They were barking up the wrong tree.
No. And these people live there. They know their own situation. They don't need a bunch of outsiders walking in and in 12 hours declaring what's wrong with Northern Ireland. It's, you can't do it.
Well, their mistakes notwithstanding, do you think anything else they've...
They've been doing it all the time. Every time they get involved with politics, they're more involved with the sloganeering of it than the actual content, and that's not good. I don't like that at all.
Do you feel that sort of rhetoric from a lot of these bands?
Yes, I do, and I don't like it.
There are any bands that are actually carrying out, have an effectual bearing on what's happening, like doing in effect what the Clash are trying to do?
Bob Marley did for a time, most definitely. He did make reggae music international, which is what it was all about. Grandmaster Flash with The Message brought black street funk music to a large audience of all colours. I suppose that would be about it. I can't think of any more off the top of my head.
What about in more specific terms, say in actual social movements? Like the Clash tried to
Well, the Clash want to be like, reggae is to black people in England. That's their ambition. But by imitating reggae and imitating rockabilly and imitating soul and jazz, they're not getting anywhere. They have no cultural basis of their own. It's like, they're like robbers. They're like thieves in the night. They just steal and take from everyone else, and they give nothing of their own.
Harsh words.
No, serious. I mean it.
So you feel the bands that are giving your stuff like Grandmaster Flash, Bob Marley?
Yeah, because it's from their soul. They fucking mean it. There's no like fobbing about. They're not trying to. I mean, if Bob Marley came out, say like Kiss, I mean, wouldn't that be dreadful?
When you put it in those terms. What about
So that's how I see the Clash. Really, it's that kind of incongruity. I don't like it.
Well, you've covered like the Third World with Bob Marley or Black America, which is often considered sort of a semi-part of the Third World. What about for like white Britain, white
There's
America?
very few white people are proud of their own culture. See, I respect black music, but I'm white, and I want to make white music. That's how you get black people to respect you, surely. Not by imitating them. They don't like that at all.
Culture clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about something like that?
They're a rip-off. I mean, they're more like posers than anything else, and Boy George is a waste of time.
Think so?
Really, he doesn't deserve the space he occupies.
How's that?
He's just ridiculous. I mean, he wants to be a Rastafarian woman and have children. I mean, really, you know?
Okay.
That's the music and that, was, you know, where they fucking dub the records live. I mean, when Malcolm goes and fucking imitates that, as he did with Buffalo Girls, he destroys its potency. He waters it down.
How's that though? What do you think?
Buffalo Girls go round the outside. I mean, how relevant? Really? And I mean, he didn't even write the words. It's off a 1930s country and western song. It's a barn dance song. I mean, really? He's done nothing. He's just insulted everything.
Subject, but do you have any plans to make promotional videos?
Yeah, we'll see what this one turns out like at the concert. And if it's good enough, then bung it out. And you don't have to buy it. That's my message.
Would you just get put on the market? You wouldn't try to get it on TV or anything?
Well, in America that would come naturally, wouldn't it? MTV, they grab anything on film.
But don't they
You
grab
know,
stuff?
you have to stop them, actually.
Is that right? They'll just play anything?
Yeah.
Would they play it on...
MTV is just like a series of commercials. Musical commercials, really.
Will you have a top 40 hit?
I don't know.
Do you think anything in your songs? Or
I think they all should be.
should be, but do you think it's possible?
Anything's possible. You can't predict that kind of thing.
What about, is it likely though?
I would hope so. It would prove that I do have something to say to a large amount of people.
I've heard you have greater interest in visual, like video. Do you have any plans other than just say simple?
Well, I did a film in Italy because of that. I wanted to see how a film was actually made. I did it with Harvey Keitel. That was great. A bloody good actor. Really. I really had to be on my toes for that one.
How did you get into that?
The Italians wanted a musician from Europe. You see, initially they wanted me to just do the music, but I pushed for the film. I wanted the part because it was so great. I mean, they just wanted this mass murderer. I mean, how could I resist that? I'm up for that. And I took the screen test and I passed. I was better than, let's see who ran for it. Dave Bowie, Sting, Steve Strange, you know.
Oh, they were in the market for rock.
Yeah, but I wanted to do this film as far away from being a snobby rock personality as possible, and I surprised them greatly. I did very well.
Huh. So
it's a damn good film. I was really shocked when I seen it, the end result. You know, it's none of that Dave Bowie, like, this is my best side. You know.
Well, is it actually out?
I am just repulsive all the way through. I am the worst human being.
Is the thing already been released then?
Yeah, it will come out in England in September. It's out already in Italy. After here, I might go to Germany because they want me to promote it. And I could do it the holiday. It's an all expenses paid tour.
What's the name of the movie?
Cop Killer.
Oh. And you are the title role. Everybody
kills everyone in it at some point. There isn't a nice person in it. It's like it's a proper feature film. But it's I suppose close to a Dallas type thing.
Is it a very bloody film?
Not really. It's more like an Agatha Christie gone mad.
Oh, if you had as much money as you wanted available, what kind of video would you make?
Bloody good one. And I know this is my limitation always. It's the story of my life. I don't ever have enough money to do exactly what I want.
Looks like they gave Bowie a whole trunkload of money. He went to Australia and hired the Aborigines and did those things.
Yeah. I wonder how much he paid them. Not a lot, I bet.
Well, apparently they're professional actors, so.
Are they?
Aborigines.
Oh, what a liar! That isn't what he said in an interview, because I read it. Oh, he said they were just poor people off the streets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I read in Rolling Stone that they said the Aborigines were the writers from Rolling Stone covered that. Well, then, do you have any idea what you'd like to do? Like, what you really want to do with video? Where you want to go?
With video, no. You're limited. I'd rather, like, shoot it on fucking 16 or 35. I could get away with it. And then transfer it down to video, because you just get better film quality. Video is like, I say, the Polaroid of the film industry.
Good, fast product, but not
Yeah,
very
yeah, but, you know.
Huh. Well, you always say that you're probably financial limitations. What would you do if you had the money? It wouldn't be video. What would it be?
Film.
Just film.
Yeah.
That's your big passion now.
Yeah.
Huh. Once you're hooked, well, you can't.
I know.
Huh.
I did a year studying video, and I got very bored and frustrated with it. At the end, I couldn't anymore. I just scrapped everything we did. I didn't want to use any of it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I heard you drag the video out during one concert once.
Yeah.
For PIL.
Yeah.
That was during your videos.
No, that wasn't a concert. This is a great story. This is the Ritz riot.
Yeah, right.
Right. This is they asked us, because Bow Wow Wow cancelled. I'd arrived that morning. They asked us that evening, would we fill in and show them how to use their video equipment, because they just had it installed. So we said we would. So while we were setting it up, they apparently advertised over the airwaves it was a PIL concert, which was wrong. There was no musical instruments on that stage other than a Prophet and a drum kit. And a record player.
And so a bunch of people came expecting
Well,
to hear
we
Pistol
used the split screen technique. We had a video console behind the screen, and we were like just wedging in different pictures of what we'd taken and other pieces of information. It was very good, like I thought. I mean, they didn't know how to use the fucking stuff.
And then halfway through, the people got kind of angry.
Yeah, very. I mean, they passed bottles out, and you know they were throwing them because they wanted a concert. But there was no way.
Didn't you announce it to them, saying, "Look, we're not here to put on a concert"?
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't interested in that.
Is that right?
It was, yeah.
Amazing. Rather odd question. You're a producer, and you're about to get started on a movie, and your lead actor is John Lydon. What type of a story would it be? What type of role? What type of script would you want?
I don't know. I mean, tell me. Offer me one and I'll tell you if I like it or
So
not.
you're more willing to accommodate than actually coming.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what acting's about.
What about actually getting into script writing?
No, not for me. Too elongated and boring. I mean, there are professionals out there who can do it much better than an amateur like me. I know my limitations. I'm not a fool. I mean, that would be incredibly conceited to go write in your own film and then star in it. Oh.
Are there any screen tests coming up you want to get involved in?
No, I've given up on that for a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I'm more interested in the music, you know. I took the film because I was bored at the time of making records. And halfway through doing it, I realised I wanted to get straight back into a studio.
Is this basically a lifetime thing, the music?
Sort of, yeah.
You want to commit?
I mean, I really enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. It's a shame I'm so lazy. Okay, you got any headache pills? Yeah. Yeah, anything, yeah.
Since becoming a professional musician, have you ever thought of quitting?
Oh, I don't think I'm a musician.
Well, you make money doing it, so that makes you a musician.
Oh, that makes me a musician. Am I what? I forgot the question.
Have you thought about quitting it?
Yeah, I have.
What discouraged you?
2 weeks after you make that decision, you realise you didn't mean it at the time. It's when you run out of ideas, it's very disappointing. You just stick at it. I mean, that's life. When you've hooked yourself onto something you really enjoy, it's a pleasure to do it. I mean, it's hard work, but I mean, fucking hell, it's the easiest job in the world.
That's what keeps you in it.
Yeah.
Well, you say that after 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, it's not manual labour.
Mm.
I don't have to work 9 to 5. It gives me the freedom I want. And I like to express my opinions.
You say like after 2 weeks you change your mind. What's the...
Boredom. Now, what am I to do? Paint pretty pastel pictures?
And that brings you back.
Yeah. You know, all the alternatives aren't exciting enough for me. They don't give me enough release.
そういうことあったけどね。What discouraged you like to feel like giving up being a musician before that?
The pressure in a studio to finish an album on time can be really, really extremely aggravating.
Yeah, 2 for one time.
The whole music industry doesn't make you fed up then?
Yeah, it's an uphill climb, that's for sure. I mean, a record company can really, really try to pressurise you very much to selling out, you know, to doing what they would like you to do, but I won't do it. I enjoy the battle. That's half the fun.
Scrappy individual.
And it's, well, yeah. I mean, you know, if it's a particularly bad audience, that can be just as good as a fanatically good one.
Huh. So what, you have complete autonomy over your stuff then, Phil, in the studio? Or does the record company have its say?
No, they have no say.
No say whatsoever?
None.
Huh. How did you gain such...
Through taking less money.
Oh, really? I mean, you don't demand any large...
I'm running a long-term project here. I'll, you know, reach the heights that they would love me to be at, but on my terms, and slowly but surely, without selling out, without being a cunt, without having to wear glitter suits and platform boots. I won't do it. I'll wear what I want and do what I want.
That's the way it's been, that's the way it's going to be.
Absolutely.
So
Let's see what else. I liked Blade Runner.
Blade Runner?
Yeah, because of the scenes of Los Angeles in the future were just excellent. It looked really good. I hated E.T. I liked Jaws 1. What else? There was a few others I liked a lot. I can't remember them. The Peter Cook Dudley Moore film years ago, Beelzebub.
Yeah. Oh, Beelzebub.
What was it called?
They made a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken.
The one about the devil.
It's about the devil was trying Beelzebub, man.
That's great. It's so funny. Tony Hancock is, let's see, what was that called? Damn. The Rebel. Tony Hancock. It was a comedy. It's very funny.
And the British stuff.
Yeah.
What about directors? Do you have any favorite? Or just go by movie?
I go by movies. I tend not to follow one director for too long. I don't like John Carpenter at all.
Grotesque.
No, just not good enough. I mean, it's too cheap. You know, it's 42nd Street Playhouse stuff. You know, not good enough for me.
That seems to be why a lot of people enjoy them, but like this.
Well, I mean, I keep being told that it's genuinely frightening, and I laugh. I can't believe that they know what they're talking about. Oh, The Exorcist I like. That was good. That was scary.
What's frightening?
Let me try and remember now. There's quite a lot of 1940s, 30s films that I really do like. They have such a weird feeling, films of that time, right? Those, like, very stagey, but very short, sharp and to the point, you know? See, I like films where the dialogue, like, can go two ways, you know? It's all smart-ass one-liners. See, that's what The Lion in Winter was. The more you watch it, the more you learn, and the more confused you get, because the double meanings and irony, and I love all those things. It's scripts, I suppose, then I like more than film.
Do you get a lot of those 30s, 40s films back in Britain?
All the time.
Is that right?
All the time.
Because, in the States, of course, all night TV is nothing but 30s and 40s and 50s.
No, you get it in the afternoon now.
You're there.
But yeah, literally all the time, man. The American culture, you're brought up with it.
Is that right?
Yeah. But it's very weird, American films, you're given no idea what the country's like. You know,
Is that right?
you can watch Starsky and Hutch a million times and you still won't know America.
Is that right?
No indication at all. You get no idea of the hugeness. And
What's your match?
You're seeing the what is it called? The blow up.
blow up.
そう
誰だっけ？
アントニオニでしょ。アントニオニ。
Was that the one with John Travolta in, or was that Blowout?
Yeah, that was blow up. Yeah. Blow up was
Blow Up was Anthony Hopkins, wasn't it?
It was made, I think, in like late 60s,
yeah,
early 70s.
yeah.
And the Yardbirds and the music.
I didn't like it, but I liked the Yardbirds scene where he's smashing the guitar.
Yeah, so did you have any sort of musicians that were heroes when you were a kid?
Alice Cooper. Really, I thought it was very funny live. Really.
That was the kind of stuff you were into, the heavy-handed, heavy metal.
No, I won't say Alice Cooper's heavy metal.
What was kind of that? Well, it was really heavy stuff.
It was a piss take of just. It was like what, the Rocky Horror. Did you see the film?
Yeah, I've seen part of it.
Same kind of thing. It was,
Parody.
yeah, and Alice Cooper was a parody.
So you've always had a sort of taste for the humorous parodies and
Yeah.
not only movies but music.
If they're done with content and you know, like they come across as they really mean it.
Did you have any like heroes when you were like seeing?
No, I can honestly say I didn't.
Is that right?
None at all.
Huh.
I don't treat music like that. I buy records because I like them.
Really?
And the rest is, you know, just waffle and rapping.
Huh. Interesting. You think so?
Yeah, I mean that's the way it should be. I mean, black music, you never know who did what. It doesn't matter either.
Did you ever want to be like anybody though, any of these guys?
I didn't want to be black, no, if that's what you mean.
Well, Boy George said he used to lock himself up in his room and be like Mark Bolan holding a tennis racket.
I can believe it.
You were never like that.
No, that's just silly. I used to like Mark Bolan though. He was very good in his early days.
His prime.
Yeah.
Really?
Bowie used to be quite good and all, very early. Now I don't know.
It seems like people of our age, all the British people I've met, they like Bolan, they like Bowie, and a lot of them like Alice Cooper as well. And of course, I would like Brian Ferry as well.
How early Roxy Music were hysterically good. They were so funny.
Harris. Oh, 818.
Awful, terrible, stuck-up, snobby Italian movie star. Her career was nowhere when she married this very good, very popular script writer. And then when her career took off and his dropped, their relationship changed very dramatically. And he ended up despising, loathing and hating her. And he was wrong, she was wrong for the way she behaved. It was really very good.
How did public...
That's what it was called, a public image. I mean, that's what he couldn't stand. A public image wasn't the real her. You know, the phoniness of it all.
Why the limited, you know?
Because of this business, like, that's just so they used to call companies instead of cooperated, it'd be limited.
Yeah. You wrote in an interview once, you referred to the Japanese, I think it was ants or worker ants or something of that sort.
Yeah, I really do believe it. It's like everybody works for the whole of the country here, and that's very good. But they're going to conquer the world.
Has your
There's-
impression changed at all since coming here?
No, it's reinforced.
Reinforced?
In Japan, it's very, very efficient, really, and that's not something to be despised. It's something to look up to. They take all these outside influences and they make them their own, and they're not seen as a threat to them. It's very good for that, you know. Where the English are going downhill very fast because they cannot absorb outside influences. They feel threatened by them, and things just don't get done because of that.
確かにその
憎んでしまったヘイトぶっ壊れればいいとかさ
You've probably been around to a lot of cities around the world. What cities have you hated the most?
Practically anywhere in Sweden, Scandinavia, I can't stand.
What is that?
Because it's so bland, and it's just, you know, the food is so dreadful, and the people are very peculiar. Yeah, they're like cardboard cutouts.
It was quite pleasant. Such is not the case.
I didn't like it.
Scandinavia, where else?
I don't like Belgium. I hate France.
Hate France.
Yeah, I can't stand their snobbishness.
Will you ever go back there?
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
May I eat?
Yes, of course.
Business. So just
You know, there's human beings there as well. I'm talking very general. I don't like to do that, but you know, you've asked me a very open question. Well, I care more about the people than the actual architecture or any of that. That's irrelevant to me. I don't care if there's nice buildings or just square blocks.
what did you thought of Tokyo?
Huge, bloody huge. Where's the centre in this town? There doesn't appear to be one.
That's the thing. There's no. There are a few centers. There's like about 4 or 5 of them.
But it's very much like London, and it's all over the place. It's everywhere. It's just huge. It's
It's not
just
very,
だいたいロンドンの倍あるんだよね
about twice the size of London.
yeah, must be.
It's not very urban looking.
I don't know what it looks. It just looks peculiar.
テレビ見ましたか日本の
Have you listened to Japanese TV since coming here?
I always buy Sony Trinitrons. So I've got 3 of them.
No, I mean since coming here. Though.
Oh, watching Japanese TV. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to make of it, do I? I mean, nice colours, but the adverts are even worse than American adverts, and I never thought that could be possible. Really, the most peculiar things they do is.
A lot of it's very precious. Very precious.
You know, like Zorro chocolate bars, and there's like wearing like the Zorro
Oh, yeah.
mask, and you see the slant eyes underneath. It just doesn't look right. Looks ludicrous. Zorro, yeah.
なんだって
Yeah, 異様なものだと。
Really, they're just very strange. They don't seem to make sense. And there's always a little girl standing next to the announcer going, "Hi,
Yeah.
hi,
You're very observant.
oh, hi, hi."
You're very observant. Yeah. でまだ音楽。
Operas, in a traditional garb is hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Really, you know, 15th century soap operas right before your very eyes. I find that fascinating.
So they,
どういうシーンは
apparently, there's a lot more violence here in Japanese TV than in the States or England. Have you seen anything like that?
No, English TV is the most violent in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's the most sex orientated. It's
Is that right?
yeah, well, yeah, death a minute. You
Can they show tits on?
Yeah, they do frequently.
Was it right?
And the new channel, the 4th one, they swear all the way through it, all night. And here's the next fucking program. They do it, you know, more for just the thrill of it all.
Because it's something new.
Yeah,
Yeah, イギリスの方がはるかに
なんだって
and they're fast turning.
新しくイギリスでね、日本の記憶が、開局したんだけども、それがなんかこうやたらと汚い言葉が分かり使ってて、でもそういうふうにね、こう好き放題やらせると、こうろくなことはないと、そういうこうセックスとかね、汚い言葉が分かり使ったりしてね、こうまあ最初のうちはそういうのは目新しくていいかもしれないんだけど、こう ちょっとね時間が経つとつまらなくなってきて、でアメリカの、有線テレビなんか全部そうなの。
うん、アメリカの有線テレビに批判的なんだ。
うん。あともうだからとにかくニューヨークにおいてはその有線テレビっていうのはね、面白くもなんともない。はっきり言って。
うん、システムとしてはどうかな。有線テレビというシステムは画期的なメディアだと思うんだけれども、そういうシステムに対しても批判的ですか。内容に対してのみ批判的なのか。とっても画期的だと思ってるんですか。
画期的で、情報源としてもね最高のものだと思うんだけど、ただなんていうかな、そのメジャーなネットワークっていうのはおそらくね何らかの形で悪影響を与えていると思う。なぜかというとそれはもう競合の相手だから、なるべくその有線テレビの内容を、
See, because it is public access.
政治って。
ということは何を連想するでしょう。
The vague question. What do you associate with the word enemy?
It's an English magazine called the NME New Musical Express.
Have they got it in for you?
That's in no. This is a joke, but it's in the words to anarchy. It's not enemy. It's the NME.
NME.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
じゃあ NME と提携してるんだって。
Huh?
教えてるの。
They have a contract with NME actually.
Yeah.
They run NME interviews.
Well. I'll take it all back then, shall I? No, I've told them that a long time ago.
でもすごくいい記事が載ってるんだよ。
He says they have very good interviews, good articles.
This one.
Yeah, they do, from time to time. But the trouble with English journalism is that there's a lot of snobs and people that don't know what they're talking about, who condemn you with their silly little critique opinions that are just utterly irrelevant. You know, like they'll judge a live performance by what you wear, because they don't like the audience, because they don't like the audience, because the bar wasn't open, and there'd be no mention about the gig. Well, what was the music like? What songs did they play? And I hate that about English journalism.
Are people at NME the worst offenders, or
No, actually, they're the least offensive of the lot. But I used NME because, well, they gave us our first interview, so it's tongue in cheek.
No, it's a pretty bad situation over there. Journalism in Britain seems to feel that there's the pattern among the critics over there is to cut down, criticize, tear apart any bands that make it.
Yeah,
and do nothing to stand behind.
No, they don't. You see, what they do is they build you up and then they knock you down when you get successful.
Why though?
I don't know. Jealousy,
Malicious.
just malicious, and it's very ugly and it ruins everything. I mean, they just make everything just so disinteresting. I mean, that's why English music papers are not bought by a lot of people.
Oh, they aren't?
No. I mean, if they sell 100,000, that's a big deal.
Is that right?
Yeah, and that's in a country of 56 million. That's nothing.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think, generally speaking, really only people in the trade seem to buy it, just to read about themselves. So it's very snobbish and very inaccurate.
The turnover is very quick there in terms of trends and whatnot. Does that have anything to do with it? That's so bad.
Well, they're partly responsible for that kind of preening. They build you up to put you down, quite frankly. And if you don't make it, then you're their darlings, and they'll love you forever. And then they'll despise the general human being race for not agreeing with them. But the minute they do agree, then you're not their darling anymore. You've taken that band away from them. They love cults. The papers there.
Are they all the same? All the magazines?
Yeah. Generally speaking.
Are there any quality magazines?
No, because there's no professional standard for a journalist there. They don't need any qualifications. Generally, the best way to get a job as a journalist in England on the music papers is to know someone.
It's all very cliquish now.
Yeah, very. And very snobby. And that's why all the writing tends to be a rip-off of the Lester Bangs way of doing things.
So
喋っててもいいかね。
You say we can go on talking, but he wants you to do it horizontally.
I'd love to. You don't know how much I'd love to. Great. My kind of man.
We're going to take you out and bury you afterwards, of course.
Really?
We're just getting you ready. So the people in England read a lot of American publications then?
No, Lester Bangs was introduced via Nick Kent. That kind of thing. You know, that sarcasm first and everything else after.
Well, the sarcasm there has...
But the English like that because they're a snob race. It's all about condemning everything.
Huh.
I do it all the time. But I know what I'm talking about. That's the difference.
Well, I don't know what it is. Very symbolic.
Good.
I have become a dart.
Yeah.
それでね
Gail, have you ever become the serious victim of their malice?
Oh, I don't think they can compare with me.
But
What can they say? I mean,
Is
my
anything
name's
ever
rotten. There's nothing you can say about me.
anything ever damaged?
I was called nice once.
You're kidding. No.
That was damaging. That upset
Tell us
me.
about it. Did they have any effect though on like
No,
what
of
happens to you
course
as a
not.
musician?
They're irrelevant.
Completely.
But they do hurt a lot of people.
How?
People
By
of a
condemning-
weaker disposition.
By condemning them?
Yeah. I mean, they can be
Oh.
very bitchy. Let's see if I can give you an example. Oh, yeah. The singer of Queen.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. The title of his interview was, "Is this man a prat?" Answer, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then they had a picture of him in tights going, "Freddie Mercury bringing ballet to the masses."
God.
So, I mean, you can well understand that he wasn't very pleased. Because, I mean, that's just being a cunt for the sake of it. You know, there are people out there who like him, I suppose. You know, as a music paper, their job is to inform, not condemn. So I won't follow their shit system. Don't need it. I don't need to be slagged off morning, noon and night by a bunch of idiots that don't know nothing.